Can this rotten sill be bodged? I bought the cheapest MX-5 on the market, but they say if something's too good to be true, then it probably is. I'm usually better at checking cars than this, but I think with these you need to know what you're looking for. I should have watched one of the many videos on YouTube, but this was a bit of an impulse buy. Believe it or not, they actually looked solid when I first got it. It wasn't until my neighbour showed me where they usually go, and after a poke around it quickly turned to dust. This left me in a bit of a panic, as I was reading horror stories online that something like this could cost a fortune to repair. I've always wanted to have a go at welding and thought this is my chance. I had no prior experience in this and decided to do a 4-hour course to learn the basics. I then had to buy all the gear and did some testing on 1.2mm steel I bought before giving this a crack. Both seals on the car were rotten. This is actually my first YouTube video as well as welding, so I'm showing the footage of the second side after gaining some experience from the first. Well, I've got the car all jacked up now. It's pretty much as safe as I'm going to get it, I think. Got some wheels and stuff under there in case they do go, but they seem pretty solid. Right, so this is side number 2. I did previously scrape all this down, get rid of all the old rubbish before the winter, and just put a bit of tape on there just to protect it for the time being, but I'm now going to reveal what is underneath. Bit awkward while we're holding the camera, but probably see more than on the tripod. Right, this is what we've got left. I did think it was better than the other side, but it's not really much. There's not a lot in it, to be honest. So, well, let's start making these panels. I think started with this one first, so we'll go with that again. Just remembered actually what I did on the last side was got rid of all this first to make it all nice and smooth. I don't know if you can see, but yeah, so it's all get all this extra rust off to get this nice and smooth. So we've got something to weld onto. Also going to make a little plate here first, just to sort of reinforce this bit. So that's going to be my first step, just doing this little plate, and then I'll move on to this here. It's quite difficult to film, but what I'm basically doing is just peeling back. So it's just spot welded on, so it's just the fact of just digging all this off and grinding it all smooth. Well, I've dug all that bit off now. Did have to use the grinder just to sort of get under some of them welds. Now what I'm going to do is use this flat disc grinder just to smooth all them bits off, clean it all up, sort of ready for welding. I just need to measure this hardware. Get the camera in there. So looking about 4.5 by 8. So I'll just cut a square like that, and then I'll try fit in that gap there. Second thoughts, I think it's going to be easier just to do just like a rectangle, just go there, because going over this stuff it's just going to get really tricky, so I think that'll be enough, just a little rectangle there, bit of extra support, so I'll measure that and cut that out. This is the little plate I've made, it's just going to go, oh, the sun's in the way, it's not ideal, but it's just going to go, just can't see anything because of the light, but like that, and it's just going to strengthen it out a little bit. I'm not going to be able to film me welding under here, it's just too tight, but I'm just going to do some dabs really, just some spots just to hold it there. Before I start, I'm just going to go through the welder that I'm using. It's just this Draper MIG welder. I got this off Facebook, 70 quid. It's gas and gasless. It only goes up to 90 amp, but I only need very small amount of voltage on these, so I actually have it set on the lowest minimum, which is about 30-40 amps I believe. Any bigger than that, it's just blowing holes, so that's the setting I'm using. Flux core is what I'm using, which isn't ideal for this type of work, but as you can see I'm working outside, so it works. It's not the neatest, but it works and it's saving me the cost of the gas, and obviously doing it outside is not blowing anything out. Right, again, not the prettiest, but it's in there, and that's just added a bit of additional structure to that. So yeah, so just reinforce it a bit. So the next stage is this section. Just going to measure that out and try and fabricate that. Just remember that what I did was the last one was just used a piece of paper and a pen just to sort of mark out a rough area, and then go from there. So that's what I'm going to do now. Right, so that is the sort of rough shape that I'm looking at, and then I just need to bend these angles. So I'll cut this first and then I'll try and bend it in place. I mean, this is just rough for now, and then I'll cut this sort of shape I did last time, and then go from there. The next stage is to sort of bend sort of roughly that much. I need to bend that round, so probably best to do a little slip. Probably, I don't know if I need to go that far, to be honest. Probably alright. just needs a little nip. Something like that. So I'll make a slit there. I might need a few slits to be honest. And then I can just bend them round. Just make sure I should bend them round the right way, so it's going to go in like that, so these all need to come out. Best way to do this is actually with a hammer. I'll go and get one. And then what you can do afterwards is just weld them little slits up. Hopefully it's going to fit roughly in there. Right, so that's the first fitment, so it's not a million miles off, just needs a little trim along this side, and then just pull these out to get it right. So I'm just going to have a mess around with that and see how I get on. After a bit of messing around, I've managed to get this rough fit. Obviously it's not perfect, there are some gaps and stuff, but it's near on. So just been bending out them edges, cutting it down, so it's not far off now. So what I want to do is just grind all around here, try and get some fresh metal, tack it on, and then just hammer it out to sort of fit in place. I ground that down sort of best as I could. It's not ideal, but it just can't. You really want fresh metal, but just can't get in there enough. Should be alright. So what I'm going to do is just prime it. Prime what I can. Just get in there. Try and prime up as much as I can on the inside. And I'll do the same on the back of this plate. Let's try and do it a bit. Sort of help it. I mean, obviously it will start rusting, but do the best I can to try and prevent it. So I'll do another couple of coats of that, and then I'll tack it in place. I'm not particularly happy with that welding, but yeah, it's not neat at all, is it? But it is solid. So I think it's going to have to do. So I have to move on to this piece now, measure up this square here and do that one. So the next piece I made is slightly curved, so it bends in like that. So I bent that in on the vise, and then that is just gonna slot in like that. I'm really happy with that, fits nice. Just need to weld that in. pretty happy with that. It's nice and solid, ain't going nowhere. So that is that bit done. Moving on to the next challenge. Yeah, to do this in one piece is just going to be too tricky for me, so I'm going to try and do it in two sections, probably one section from here till around about here. I don't know whether I can go all the way along to here and then just put another little piece in there. Might try that. If not, I'll probably just go to sort of there and then make something for there. But yeah, first I'm going to see if I can make something for this section and see if it works out. After about an hour of messing around, I've got this. So yeah, I haven't filmed every stage creating it, but it's just a matter of measuring, cutting, and eventually come up with that, which should fit somewhere. Like that. And it's still not perfect. I've still missed a bit there. I'll just have to fill that with weld. But that's going to fit there. And then yes, I'll weld that in and then do that last bit. That's that bottom plate done. It's all welded in place. Again, not the prettiest, just mainly due to the space under here. Plus I lana guarded all this before and it just constantly just kept setting on fire. It was a bit of a pain in the arse, but it's on. So now I just need to make something up for this final section here. After about an hour of messing around, this is what I've come up with. This was by far the worst, the most difficult one that I've had to do. It's just so many bends in it. You know, all I've been using is these to sort of bend it, and the vise just to grip it, try and bend what I can, and this little hammer. Like I say, you know, it's just messing around, hammering, cutting, measuring, but this is what I've got, and it fits in like that. It's not perfect, there are still some gaps and stuff, so what I'm going to do is just tack it in and then try and hammer it in place and just weld the gaps. Like I say, this one was really tricky, but yeah, so I don't really know any other way around it unless you just do loads and loads of little pieces and weld them together. But let's give it a go. Again, there is a load of Sill around here, so I bet there'll be a load of smoke to deal with as well, so I'll have to keep an eye on that. I feel like the welding is extra ropey on this one. There's just no space under here. Ideally you want a ramp, I think, for this, especially trying to get, you got a big welding helmet on, sort of welding on top of your face, it's all going all over you. Horrible job. But on the plus side, it all seems to be solid, and that is the job complete. I think on this one I'm going to have a go at grinding down the seams and see if I can make a neater job of it. So let's have a go at that. Well, I've just had a go with a grinder and it has come out really nice. The bits that I've actually ground It looks a lot better than it did once it's got the sealer on it. I don't think you're really going to notice it. Obviously there's these bits here. The thing is, I've got a massive grinder and I can't get in there, so there's not a lot I can do about that. But I think this looks a lot better. Like I say, once I've got the under sealer on it, that looked nice. I've had a little go on this as well. Again, just struggling to get in there, but I think it looks a lot better than it did. So now it's just a case of priming it all up and putting the sealer on. Well, a few weeks have passed and I'm pleased to announce the MX-5 has passed the MOT. I'm really chuffed with this. You know, now that I've put the sealer on, that's all gone nice and hard and it's all solid. And I think for my first time doing anything like this, I think it looks really good. So I'm really happy with that. It's not professional standard, but it's got me through the MOT and I've gained a new skill. If you do know what you're doing, please comment below on what I could have done differently, maybe even a bodge rating out of 10. I've plenty more planned for this car, so keep an eye out for the next videos. Thank you for watching.